Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach and I'm going to continue on. As always for the last, I don't know how many episodes, getting rocks to be source generator generated, if that made sense. Tomorrow is the first day of school for my kids. My older son is a sophomore now in high school, which is kind of unbelievable to me. And my younger son is in 8th grade. And they are doing hybrid for school. They had a choice of either online or hybrid. And we debated this a long time, my wife and I. Do we have them just stay home and do school that way? Do they take a risk by going to school and doing hybrid and, not having the interaction with their friends or other kids their age? It's, COVID is nothing to be flippant about, and we can, in fact, we're going to have to somehow learn how to live lives with this. And we already are, but that life has to go on. But at the same time, I say that, and there's how many people in the United States dead from this. So it's not anything that I'm trying to sound even remotely flippant about. But we decided that the right choice is to go hybrid. I would not be surprised if in 2 to 4 weeks, if it goes all completely online, we'll see how this goes. I'm not worried about my kids, not wearing masks or anything like that. They most definitely will. They'll follow all the protocols and everything else. But, it's just the nature of the virus. So tomorrow should be the start of an interesting school year. It's sad my younger son is not looking forward to this. He's not going to have his friends because they're on other days, but we're like, nobody likes this. There's nothing to like about any of this. So, and it could have been so much better. In any event, let's make this better. Let's try to make our code a little bit better. So we left off with special names. And I think I was trying to say this. So we're like, get methods where it is special, is virtual, not final, not sealed, and its declaring type assembly can be seen by mock assembly. And self-containing assembly. What does this do again? Okay, there. Oh, it's in the internal visible attribute too. Okay, so is it public or is it family or is it family or assembly or is it not private? Okay. Do I want to make assembly symbol? Do I want to make a static? Because it feels weird being on the assembly, now that I think about it. And we're going to have to do a little bit more work than what we can do in this. So I think what I'm going to do is have a private static bool can be seen by mock assembly. Is that true? Well, because again, this is being put into mock assembly. This is actually being put in the same assembly as the test assembly. So, yeah. What we want to see is does the assembly see, this is kind of interesting because what happens if you're from a different assembly? Maybe it's already been caught by the other cases. Yeah. So we're going to say this I type symbol self. Okay. So we're going to say if self. No, we want to do this on the what are you actually doing this on? You're doing this on the it's a method info, right? Yeah. It's the method itself. It's not the type of the method. Except in here, what we end up doing is name generator. We're looking to see that, or is it not that? And then on the assembly itself, does it have that attribute where the name is equal to the assembly name? Okay. This is important. But what I'm going to say for right now, in the interest of moving forward, to do finish correctly. Okay. And yeah, so we'll just say true for now. This is not correct, but really this should be seen by so we want to say can be seen. Why can't you see that? It's an I symbol. Oh. Where is I method symbol and method? There you go. There we go. So yeah, kind of interesting that you can do that, but it's what I want. Method symbol. No, method symbol. Really? Self method. Duh. Okay. All right. Why aren't you I symbol time method? Fine. Seems like a little bit more redundant work, but whatever. Okay. Optimize a little later, if ever. Okay, so we get those. Now, if this is an interface, we get all their interfaces. Interesting. 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 A mockable result. And the reason we want a mockable result is because we need to know if we need to do method mockable result. What the heck is this? It's a mockable result of a method info. Except you need that stuff. Okay, why am I worrying about base static methods? Yeah, again, there's comments here that I'm missing. Why would I care about this? Why would I care about this? Base static methods. If it's an interface, you will get the methods where they're static. Method mockable results. Base static methods where match the values exact. Any. Requires is new implementation? Yes. Requires is new implementation? No. ToList is read only. I think this is to potentially avoid any static methods that could collide with the name of the thing I'm going to do a virtual override on. I believe. There has to be a reason I have this in here. Otherwise, I wouldn't have put it in here in the first place. And then it's funny that I just say get all the interfaces that way, and then I go through and list these. I have the feeling I'm going to have to preserve this, the mockable result, because I'm going to need to know is it like just knowing it's a method symbol isn't good enough. I have to know if I'm going to have to explicitly implement the requires explicit interface implementation, which is funny because it's on the method. So somewhere later on, I have to look at this and say, well, then the whole interface has to be explicitly, because I think explicit interface implementation, you can't do partial. Like you can't, I'm kind of getting stuck here and I'm spinning. Like I don't believe you can say public interface IA void foo void bar, and I can't say public class A, which implements IA, and say public void foo public, and then say void IA dot bar. Oh, yeah, you can. Okay, so that's probably why I'm doing what I'm doing, because you're probably trying to avoid collisions. Okay. So where does that leave us? What we need is, from rocks, we need, dear Lord, God, I hope I don't ever have to bring that over. I think I don't have to, but I think I'm going to need these. Okay. And I think I'm going to need them because we need to have a way to say of methods. Is this a method mockable result? Which then requires us to have these two. Okay. Great. Back to where I was, which is this. Shut up, stomach. That's really what we want. That means this has to be that. Okay. And why are you barking? Property type, immutable array, accessible property, mock information methods. Is it because this isn't... This is going to be the death of me. Public class that where T is a I symbol. Okay? Go away. Reflection. We don't want you. Okay. Then it's all public. Okay. And yes. Go bite me, please. Oh dear God. Jesus. Yes, come back here. Okay, so interesting. Okay, so we actually capture these all as mockable results, but then we have to return them as method mockable results. Okay. Fine. I don't really know why I've over-engineered my stuff that way, the way I did it, but I did. So, mockable result by method symbol. Okay, so in here we're going to say new mockable result that no. Okay. In this, I think it's the same thing. Okay. Except in this case, it's going to be a self method. Okay. Now in this case, I'm going to turn an immutable array as wait a minute, no, what did I do here? Okay, return select new method mockable result, except no. I method symbol, yay. We're getting rid of reflection, yay. I method symbol, there we go. Okay, so this is going to take a value, because that's the method symbol. This is going to take the requires that. And for now, we're going to say requires no. We really don't know just yet because we need to do the other special thing that I was just talking about. You can't just do select on this, can you? Can you? Well, and that gets us what we want. So we're good that way. But I'm an impatient person right now, and I'm getting a little tired of all these little crappy rules that I put into place. So what I want to do is come back down here. And one thing I was thinking about when I was upstairs is, why are you, it's an immutable array, Why would length? That's an immutable array of that. That is an immutable. Because you suck. That's why you do. You just suck. There you go. Okay, so the one thing I was thinking of is with this, do I want to have like tests that will test, like do I want to have all the mock information tests in here? I guess, I mean, if we need to split it up and have like mock information tests of methods, you know, I don't know. Create with interface methods. I don't know. Public interface test void foo. We don't really care. This should be length is equal to 0. Methods length is equal to 3, because we should find the two. 3. We should find the two that are from system.object, because even though we're going to be building a class that implements this interface, and those are the 2 extra methods I believe that we should have on there. We also want to have create when type has no mockable members. Okay, and I think the way to do this is if you go like this, public class no mockables. Okay, and why are you forcing me to find whatever, I don't care. Override. So it'll be 4, right? Override equals, except we want to say that. Now what else are you barking about? Fine. Override, get hash code, but we want to seal it. And we want to have public override toString, except we're going to seal that as 2. Okay. Why are you complaining? Oh my God. There. Okay, so this should actually get us that one to fail. And the reason that one should fail is type has no mockable members. Descriptor. Okay. And this should be 3. The type has no members that can be overridden, I guess is the right phrase. Type has no mockable members. Okay, and so then this becomes that, this becomes that, this becomes that. So we can pass in the type blah, some mockable members. And then we say this, that. We're going to come here. Let's actually see if this is going to fail the way I think it's going to fail. Type has no mockable members descriptor. Come on, blow up on me. Yes. What are we not passing in here? Compilation. Compilation. Okay. Failed. Why'd you fail? Expected true, but was false. Expected 4, but was 0. Well, that's true. We shouldn't have found any. Yeah. I just realized I am not actually putting that in there. So we do this. If this dot constructors, well, constructors, yeah, that's not true. If this dot events dot length is equal to 0, and this dot methods dot length is equal to 0, and this dot properties length is equal to 0, then and only then do we say, hey buddy, type has no mockable members. Okay, now let's come back to this and see what this does. Still failed. True but false. That's okay. How many do I have here? I've got, that's rock 2, rock 1, and rock 3. Yep, that looks right. So if we come back to mock information tests, let's actually just see, did I break all the things? How much did I break? 2 failed. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. What'd you fail there? Sequence contains all elements. That's even better. This is true, false. Okay. So not too bad. We're going to come into here. We're going to say mock information. And we want to get all the mockable methods. Okay, so we get methods, which is 0, because we're doing the builder. If the type kind is an interface, which it isn't, if you didn't find anything. So, well, that's unfortunate. Self.get members. Oh, whatever. Get type. What's get type members? What the heck is that? Gets all the members of this symbol. Oh, that's right. That's not what we want. We want get members. Well, those are your 4. And the first one should be a method symbol. Yeah, that doesn't help. Declared accessibility. It's public. Is a method symbol. It is. Is virtual. It is not. Shouldn't be abstract either. Is override. What does that actually mean? Is it, let's see, is it sealed? It is sealed. Okay, so it did check that it was sealed, which is what we expected it to be. And then that's going to be true. So it's the virtual thing that we're getting thrown on. Is override. Gets a value indicated with a symbol as an override of a base class symbol. I'm going a little bit long here, and I don't want to go into another episode tonight because I'm tired. Well, wait a minute. That should come back, and that should say we had diagnostics, right? Type is no. Oh, you suck. You suck. Because I've already assigned it at that point. We want to do all those things, and then we want to say the stuff. Okay. I think. Now we pass. Yep. Okay, now let's create with interface members. We should see 5 here. The thing I'm now checking is, what's construct? No, that's not what we care. Constructor from, no. Declare accessibility equal, get attributes. Self and self dot. How do you get the constructors for a type symbol? Because this should give back 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And it's not. It's giving back 5, I bet. Or it's just saying sequence has no elements. Okay. Well, fine. Whatever. Oh, yeah, that would be... So biased. So biased. But was 3. Okay. So that's better because it's not better. We should have actually gotten the actual methods. We should have gotten foo, right? Because we need to implement that as well. So we're gonna make this a longer episode because I need to figure this out. This will be like one of those things that make me toss and turn at night. Not really, but your mockable methods. So if it's interface, you get those. Otherwise, you just say get a new list of those. Methods are get all the methods on it. Where, yeah. So why did it not find? In this case, that method, unless it's not considered public. I wonder if that's the case. So let's do this. I test a foo, right? So there's going to be 1. We know it's a method symbol. What's its declared accessibility? It's public. Good. Is virtual. It's not virtual. And it's not going to be an override either. Right. But this is just getting all the interfaces that this would implement. This is a little, well, if it's an interface, by definition, even if you do default implementation members, you can still override it. So if it's on an interface, by definition, it has to be virtual. So it may not be virtual itself, you know. Let me do this. Just pull this in here. Let's put a watch in here. Why aren't you letting me pull this over? That is really... There we go. Okay, that was kind of weird. It's not async. It's not conditional. It's not extension method, not generic, and it only read only varg method kind. Method kind is probably where you get the constructors from. Parameters, partial definition, partial received. Receiver type produced from ref custom modifiers. Ref kind returns tag arguments. Is abstract true. that makes sense because it is technically an abstract method. And by definition, abstract methods can be overridden. But you can override a method and it can still be virtual, which means you can override it in another class. Only if you seal it does it suddenly make it so that you can't. So I think in this case, what we want to say is it abstract? Is abstract, or why did you suddenly bark? No, I don't. Yeah, that's what I really want. Okay. Four. Good. And I believe let's look at the methods it actually found. Shall we? We found 4 methods. We found a object equals, we found an object in hashcode, we found an object toString, and we found an itest of foo. Alrighty. Again, baby steps. We run all the tests here. We all pass. So I'm going to check this in the way it is. Again, long way to go. And I might do some of this work off camera because if I'm trying to record an episode and I'm trying to go through my thoughts, I don't want dead air and I want to keep thinking. So sometimes it's nice to think without actually having to record. But yeah, I want to do as much of this, especially when I feel like I'm getting to the point that I'm about to actually generate a mock and execute it. But for some of this stuff, and like I know this is not good enough. Just saying I have 4 methods isn't good enough. Well, what 4 methods? And like I'm glad in this case it did work right, which is like, no, you can't do that. We're going to have to come up with all the cases for these things and make sure that we actually have all the right stuff that we expect. But this episode has been going on far too long. I'm going to commit it and continue working on getting all the mockable methods that we expect and getting tests on it. I think that's the next step. And when I'm comfortable with what I've done there, then I'm going to not worry about properties and events just yet. If I can say I feel like I'm getting all of the mockable methods with the right values for everything, now let's start trying to generate a mock. Okay, so that's the steps in my head that I'm going through. So thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.